$213 a night, $787 a night. Same week, same parks, same buses, same fireworks, same 45-minute wait for 7 dwarfs. I priced both of these on Disney's own website for the same 5 nights in January, and one of them costs almost 4 times the other. Before tax, both of them. I've walked every inch of the cheap one, and I slept in the expensive one in June. And I spent a day at the one in the middle, the $598 one, because I wanted to know exactly where the money stops buying you anything. So this is a ladder, 3 hotels, 3 prices, all quoted on the same 5 nights, and at every rung, I'm going to tell you what the extra money bought and what it didn't. At the end, I'll tell you which one I'll book again, and I'll tell you now, it's not the one I expected. Pop Century is a value resort, which is Disney's word for the cheapest thing they sell with a Disney name on it. $213 a night for that week, before tax, straight off Disney's booking page. Here's what that buys: a room, a bed, a bathroom, a little table, a door that opens onto an outdoor walkway, and a view of a parking lot, or a giant yo-yo. I didn't sleep here, I'll say that up front. I walked it, I ate here, I priced it. The room is the one thing I'm taking Disney's word on, and Disney's word is 260 square feet. And then here's everything else it buys, which is the part people skip: a pool with a jukebox theme, a food court that's open from early to late and is genuinely cheap, a store, a lake with a walking path over to Art of Animation, the Skyliner, which is a gondola straight to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, and it's free. The thing nobody tells you about value resorts is that they're not a lesser Disney. They're the same Disney with a smaller room and a longer bus ride. Every park, every perk, early entry, all of it. If the trip is about the parks, this is where the money should go. Now add $385 a night and walk into Wilderness Lodge. The first thing you notice is that the money went into the building. The lobby is an 8-story log atrium with a fireplace you could park a car in, and a creek that starts inside the building and runs out the back into a geyser. That's what the jump from value to deluxe buys. Not a bigger room, mostly. The standard room here is a normal hotel room. It buys the place, the grounds, the quiet, a boat to Magic Kingdom instead of a bus, a pool that looks like a mountain spring, sitting on the dock at night. And here's the honest part: the room you sleep in at Wilderness Lodge is closer to the Pop Century room than it is to what comes next on this ladder. You're paying for the lobby and the lake, and you only get those when you're not in the parks. If you rope drop and close the park, you just paid $385 a night for a lobby you walked through twice. Now the top of the ladder, Bay Lake Tower, the tower next to the Contemporary where the monorail runs through the building, and Magic Kingdom is a 10-minute walk out the front door. Disney's entry price here is a deluxe studio, $787 a night for that same January week, before tax. 1 queen bed, 1 bed that pulls down out of the wall, a kitchenette, and a balcony. And before I show you anything, 2 things you need to know, because this is the rung where Disney stops behaving like a hotel. The first one: when I went to price a normal week in October instead, not a holiday, just an ordinary week in the fall, Bay Lake Tower had nothing. Not a studio, not a 1-bedroom, not a grand villa. Every single room type came back unavailable. That's what this place is. It's a Disney Vacation Club building. Members book it with points, and what reaches the rest of us is the leftovers. The second thing, and I want to be straight with you about it, because it matters. The room I'm about to show you is not the $787 studio. We stayed in a 2-bedroom villa, and we didn't book it from Disney. We rented points from a member. And while I was making this video, I tried to price that same 2-bedroom on 3 different weeks, and Disney wouldn't sell it to me on any of them. So I can't tell you what it costs because they never quoted me a number. Here's what it is. 2 bedrooms, 2 beds in each one, a living room with a sofa bed and another bed that folds down out of the wall under the television, a full kitchen, 3 bathrooms, a washer and dryer, and a balcony off each room. It sleeps 9 people, and the balcony is the whole argument. From that balcony, you're looking at Bay Lake, the pool, and if you get the other side, the castle. You can watch the fireworks from your room. You can walk to Magic Kingdom. You can take the monorail to Epcot without getting on a bus once. So here's what the top of this ladder buys at the price Disney will actually sell you. $189 a night more than Wilderness Lodge. And for that $189, you don't get a dramatically bigger room. You get a kitchenette, a balcony and location, which is the thing money buys at Disney more than anything else. 20 minutes a day of not being on a bus 4 times a day for a week is a full park day you got back. And if you want the version with the 2 bedrooms and the washer and dryer, you're not booking that off Disney's website. You're renting somebody else's points. 5 nights. At Pop, that's just over $1,000. At Wilderness Lodge, just under $3,000. At Bay Lake Tower, just under $4,000. Same 5 nights, same parks, before tax on all 3. The gap between the bottom and the top of this ladder is almost $3,000. That's not a nicer room. That's a second trip to Pop Century with money left over. So which one would I book again? If the trip is the parks, if you're up at 7 and back at 11 and the room is a place to shower, Pop Century, and it's not close, you're buying a bed and a bus and that's all you need, and the $600 a night you didn't spend is a second trip. If the trip is the resort, if you want to sit on a balcony with coffee and watch the monorail go by and walk to the castle after dinner, Bay Lake Tower, and nothing else on property does what it does. If you can even get a room, and Wilderness Lodge, the one in the middle, is the one I would have told you to book before I did this. It's beautiful. It's also the rung where you pay deluxe money for a value-sized room with a better lobby. The money at Disney buys the room and the location. It doesn't buy a better vacation. Your plan buys that. Tell me which one you pick and how many park days you're doing, because that's the whole answer. If you want the real cost of a full Disney day, parks and food included. I priced every item on every menu on property, and that video's on the channel. And the free trip cost calculator is on the site at theadventurouslog.com.